David clicked the video almost absent-mindedly. The familiar YouTube interface snapped into place. A confident voice filled the room before the image even settled. Look around. It's January 2026. The headlines are screaming tsunami of layoffs. AI was cited in roughly 55,000 US job cuts last year alone. Mostly tech, but it's spreading. Companies are openly saying 37% plan to replace roles by the end of 2026. Entry-level gigs are vanishing. Mid-level coders and reviewers are getting automated out. Even executives admit it. The fear is skyrocketing. Worker anxiety is up from 28% to 40% in recent surveys. David closed the video. 16 minutes remained. The red progress bar stopped dead, as if frozen mid-sentence. He didn't need the rest. He already knew where it was going. Charts, forecasts, grim certainty dressed up as information. The room felt smaller without the voice, but the silence wasn't relief. The computer's fans hummed steadily, indifferent, patient. Ethan came to mind. 23, sharp, hungry in the way only young, unburned minds are. He'd been fired in the same meeting as the others. 20% of the company, reduced to a clean pie chart, replaced by the system David now oversaw. The same system he was actively helping train. The same system that would one day make his own position optional. He stared at the screen. Reflections layered over terminal windows and half-written scripts. For a brief, unsettling moment, it felt like the machine was waiting on him, ready to continue, to consume more input, to move forward whether he did or not. David leaned in and pressed the power button. Held it. The fans surged, protesting. The screen flickered once, then went black. Silence. Not a graceful shutdown. A decision. He sat there for a second longer, hands still resting on the dead machine, as if to make sure it stayed that way. He needed something, anything, that reminded him the machine didn't decide when things began or ended. He grabbed his jacket, slung his bag over his shoulder, and stepped outside. The evening air hit him clean and cold. Cars passed. A bus hissed to a stop. Somewhere nearby, a laugh cut through the noise, unfiltered, human. On the walk home, he pulled out his phone and let a video play. Cold Fusion. Dagogo always talked about new technologies in a way that felt steady, less alarmist, less predatory, like someone explaining a storm instead of selling umbrellas. His shoulders loosened slightly. Then the ad came. Not motion, just a still image. A flyer. AI took your job? It's not the end of you. Maybe philosophy can provide perspective. Call, book a session. His thumb hovered over the screen, ready to skip. Instinct. Muscle memory. He didn't. Instead, he took a screenshot. Just in case. That night, sleep refused him. He lay staring at the ceiling while the dark filled with unfinished thoughts and half-formed fears. Somewhere near dawn, he got up, dressed without thinking, and drove. The gas station lights buzzed harsh and fluorescent. He sat in the car for a long moment, staring at the counter through the glass. He hadn't smoked in 10 years. Why now? The realization landed quietly, but firmly. He wasn't craving nicotine. He was craving relief. An off switch. He put the car in drive instead. By morning, the decision felt obvious. The office was modest, clean, unassuming. No slogans on the walls. No motivational posters. Just a door. Jacob opened it. "Hello, I'm David," he began. "I came because..." Jacob raised a hand gently, stopping him. "No rush, my friend," he said calmly. "Would you like something to drink before we sit?" David paused, took a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. "Do you have tea?" Jacob smiled faintly and nodded. His wife, also his secretary, brought the cups. Steam curled upward as they sat down across from one another. For the first time in weeks, David felt something unfamiliar settle in his chest. Not hope, not comfort, space. And that, for now, was enough. "Tell me, what can philosophy do for you today?" David shifted in his chair and replied, "Well, I've been a developer for 15 years, building stuff from scratch. Lately, though, AI is writing most of the code I used to do. My company already cut 20% of the team because of it. I can't stop thinking, if machines do this better and cheaper, what's left for me? I feel like my whole identity is slipping away. I'm not here for job hunting tips. I need help figuring out what any of this means anymore. Jacob kept steady eye contact and asked, "Does it bother you that your identity is slipping away? Or is it that you dread building a new one?" David exhaled sharply and answered, "The slipping away bothers me. Feels like watching someone slowly erase the thing that's defined me since I was 22. But building a new one? That terrifies me more. I don't even know what it would look like. Who am I if I'm not the guy who solves hard problems with code? Just a dad? A husband? That sounds nice on paper, but it doesn't fill the same space. I'm scared I'll end up resenting the free time, or worse, not knowing what to do with it. What if nothing else ever feels as real?" Jacob nodded thoughtfully and said, "What do you mean by real? There is existence, and there are the mental models that we build to interact with it. Reality is the code, but we are the machine that interacts with existence. And it is our interactions with existence that truly define us." David leaned in a little, eyes widening slightly as he responded, "When I say real, I mean the feeling of agency and creation that comes from wrestling with a problem, seeing blank screen, thinking hard, typing lines that actually work and solve something tangible. That flow state, the small victory of making order out of chaos, it's the closest thing I've had to proof I matter. You're right that reality is the raw existence, the code underneath. And yeah, we're the interpreters, the ones who give it shape through what we do. But right now it feels like the machine is taking over the interpreting part too. If AI can interact with existence, write the code, fix bugs, even dream up architectures, faster and without the exhaustion or doubt, then what's uniquely human in my interaction anymore? I get that relationships, being a dad, loving my wife, that's real interaction too. But those don't give me the same visceral sense of I built this, I made this happen. Work was where I proved I could bend reality a little. Losing that feels like losing part of what makes me me. Does that make sense? Or am I just clinging to an outdated story?" Jacob spoke firmly, cutting through the hesitation. "First of all, reality is not existence. Existence is as it is, and we give it names and properties, but all that is in the mind. As men, biologically we are wired to derive existential pleasure from performing alterations to existence that perpetuate our survival and the survival of our families. Could it be that you are afraid of losing not your identity, but your value as a provider? If so, why is your ability to provide limited to a job?" David blinked, visibly rocked by the reframe, and muttered, "Damn, that's a shift in perspective. Existence raw, and we slap meaning on it with our minds. Yeah, maybe it's not just identity. It's that provider role hitting hard. As a guy, I do feel wired to alter existence through work to keep my family safe, fed, thriving. Losing the job feels like failing that biological drive. But you're right. Why limit providing to a paycheck? Maybe teaching my kid, building stuff at home, or volunteering could fill that. Still, it doesn't pay the bills, and that gnaws at me." Jacob pressed on without softening. "Of course it gnaws at you. It absolutely should. But you don't need a job to pay the bills. You need to provide value to people, enough value that they are willing to pay you for your services. Have you ever sold anything?" David gave a small, rueful smile and said, "Yeah, I've sold stuff before. Not a ton, but enough to know the feeling. Back in college, I built and flipped custom gaming PCs. Later, early in my career, I did some freelance web dev on the side. It felt good, direct exchange. But that was always secondary to the steady paycheck. Now the idea of relying purely on selling my skills terrifies me. What if no one wants to buy what I offer anymore?" Still, you're right. The job was just a middleman for providing value. Maybe I need to rethink what value I can create that machines can't touch. Like, could I sell custom solutions where the human touch matters? Or teach others? I don't know. It feels risky as hell with a family to support. Have you seen people successfully pivot like that in tech lately? Jacob shook his head once and stated clearly, "No, I haven't. But I'm not here to give you money-making tips. I'm here to help you develop the perspective you need to take control of your life." An existential crisis is the natural response to developing a desire to not live anymore. Your nervous system is screaming that if you can't provide, then you are better off dead. And it's not wrong. We have that responsibility as men. Your mistake is believing your job is the only way you can provide. In the free market, there are ups and downs. You are experiencing the first potential downturn in your life. Congratulations. You are becoming more independent out of necessity. And what's more, you will get accustomed to managing resources more efficiently. David looked down for a moment, then back up with a quieter intensity. Yeah, that lands heavy. The nervous system part is spot on. I wake up some nights with this gut punch. But hearing you frame the job loss as the first real downturn forcing independence, that flips something. Still, tightening the belt for a bit isn't death. Maybe this is the push to stop waiting for someone else to validate my worth with a paycheck. Does that sound like I'm starting to get it? Or am I still dodging the deeper fear? Jacob raised an eyebrow slightly and asked, "How do you feel about admitting that you have been selling your freedom for the illusion of steadiness a paycheck provides? Are you beginning to see jobs as golden, invisible chains?" David winced visibly and admitted, "That stings, but yeah, it rings true. Admitting I've been trading my freedom for the illusion of steadiness? It feels like swallowing glass. Now that the chain's rattling, I'm starting to see it clearly. Jobs can be golden handcuffs. Part of me is pissed I didn't see it sooner. I think I'm starting to want out more than I want the safety back. Does that mean the fear's shifting, or am I just trading one illusion for another?" Jacob spoke with calm conviction. All realities are illusions, but what's important is how they affect our behavior and our interactions with existence. If you want the security of being able to provide, you are better off confiding in yourself rather than in a boss. I bet you have given more than you were being paid for sometimes. David nodded slowly, voice gaining strength. Yeah, you're hitting the nail on the head again. The idea of selling directly to the market instead of through a boss. It's scary, but it makes sense. I think part of me has always known the job was a form of comfortable slavery. I'm starting to feel like the fear isn't just losing the job anymore. It's the fear of stepping out and discovering I'm actually capable of more without the chains. Jacob leaned back a fraction and offered, "It sounds like you are seeing that a job is not comfortable slavery, but that slavery is a comfortable job. If you want to kick it up a notch, you could say that comfort itself is slavery. But that's a thought experiment for you to play with." David's eyes lit up with a mix of discomfort and recognition as he said, "Yeah, that twist lands like a punch. Comfort keeps you small, numb, dependent. It's uncomfortable as hell to admit, but playing with that thought experiment, it's waking something up. I'm not ready to burn it all down tomorrow, but I'm starting to feel like staying comfortable might be the bigger betrayal." Jacob brought the energy forward decisively. "Well, what actions are you going to start taking in order to take responsibility and control of your income?" David straightened up, voice firmer. "Yeah, that question cuts right to it. First thing, I'm going to sit down this weekend and map out what I actually know how to sell. Second, I'll reach out to 3 old freelance clients. Third, tighten the belt starting now. And fourth, I'm blocking time every morning, 2 hours, to build a tiny side project. It feels raw and exposed, but staying put and waiting for the axe feels worse now. This is me starting to grab the wheel." Jacob gave a small, approving nod and said, "Absolutely on the right track. Now, is there anything that you think needs to change in the world that people value or will potentially value, and you can do something about it? No need for an answer now. Take it like homework." David exhaled, looking energized. "Yeah, homework. I like that. Right now, off the top, a couple things bubble up. One is how small businesses are getting crushed by big tech and AI tools. I could build simple, reliable, human-tuned tools for them. Another is the way kids are growing up thinking code is something ChatGPT does. Maybe creating hands-on, no AI allowed coding kits or workshops. Those are the first that hit me. I'll sit with it more this week. Jacob wrapped it up cleanly. Those already sound like viable business ideas. Also, don't nuke your job yet. Your nervous system will attack again. When it does, remember this conversation. I will give you a transcript. Anything else philosophy can do for you today? Or do you want to get to work? David, mentally ready to move, said, yeah, you're right. Slow build, side hustle mode. The nervous system thing. Yeah, I can already feel it lurking. Having this transcript to look back on. Huge. Philosophy-wise, today's been enough. So yeah, I want to get to work. Thanks, man. Seriously. For now, I'm logging off to start drawing wireframes. Thank you, Jacob. David stood up. For the first time in a long while, the movement wasn't driven by urgency or escape. It came from expectation. Not certainty, but openness. The future no longer felt like a collapsing hallway. It felt like terrain. He accepted the transcript from the secretary with care, as if it were something fragile or dangerous if mishandled. He nodded politely, a quiet acknowledgement rather than a goodbye. Each step out of the office felt more deliberate than the last. Not faster, more grounded. His feet met the floor with weight behind them, as if his body had finally caught up to a decision his mind had been circling for years. Outside, the day carried on without commentary. Traffic moved. People passed. The world did not pause for his realization, and that felt right. When he arrived home, he didn't announce himself. He simply stepped inside, crossed the room, and kissed his wife. Not a routine peck, not a distracted gesture, but a kiss that lingered long enough to say, "I'm here." Then he crouched and wrapped his arms around his child. The hug came out of him with a force that surprised them both. Too tight, too long. The kind of embrace that carries time inside it. Weeks, months of restraint breaking all at once. His wife watched, confused at first, then smiling. There was something different in his posture, in his eyes, something settled. "Well," she asked gently, "how was it?" David exhaled, a slow release, like air leaving a sealed room. "It was clarifying," he said. She waited for more, therapy talk, analysis, reassurance. Instead, he met her gaze, steady. "I want to start a business," he said. "Not someday. Now. I've got ideas, real ones. Things people actually need. Things I can build, sell, and stand behind." Her eyebrows lifted, not in fear, but interest. He kept going, words coming faster now, not frantic, but alive. He talked about value, about direct exchange, about independence, not as rebellion, but responsibility, about teaching, building, testing, failing forward. She didn't interrupt. When he finally stopped, the room was quiet again, not tense, open. She nodded once. "Okay," she said. "Let's talk about it." David leaned back, feeling the weight of the day settle, not as exhaustion, but as gravity. The good kind, the kind that keeps you planted while you build upward. Later that night, after the house had gone still, he placed the transcript on his desk. He didn't reread it. Not yet. He turned off the light. Tomorrow, there would be work to do. Not assigned, not approved. Chosen. And for the first time in years, David fell asleep, not trying to outrun the future, but ready to meet it.